They confirmed that Area 51 hit a ship and an extraterrestrial being. Alfred O'Donnell, a defense contractor who ran Area 51, claimed they had a flying saucer that had been recovered in New Mexico and a living thing, according to investigative journalist George Knapp, who interviewed him numerous times. According to Knapp, O'Donnell, when speaking of the being, told him, "We didn't know what it was. In fact, we couldn't communicate with it. At first, we didn't know what he was, we didn't know where he was from. And we didn't know what to do with it." Knapp added that O'Donnell compared the appearance of the being to former presidential candidate Ross Perot, as opposed to the classic gray-looking alien. The journalist also shared a story about a former employee of defense contractor Holmes and Narver who allegedly had knowledge about crashed saucers, recovered materials, and what looked like a Roswell-type incident. Before Knapp spoke to her, the woman was intimidated by unknown agents, causing her to cancel the meeting. Even after 2 decades, she continued to refuse to speak on the matter. In the early 1990s, former Senate Majority Leader Robert Byrd, who chaired the Senate Appropriations Committee, and the late Senator Harry Reid, who would later serve as Senate Majority Leader, they tasked a congressional staffer who oversees Special Access Programs, SAP, named Richard D'Amato, to look into the matter. After investigating and visiting Area 51, D'Amato was unable to verify the claims related to the crashed saucers, but according to Knapp he thought it was entirely feasible that this UFO cover-up exists within a private company, such as Lockheed Martin, E.G.&G or Northrop Grumman. Knapp told fellow journalist Jeremy Corbell on his podcast, Weaponized, that he scheduled a meeting between D'Amato and O'Donnell, with the blessing of E.G.&G co-founder Herbert Greer. However, O'Donnell would not tell D'Amato anything. Knapp points to this as the moment that O'Donnell's narrative began to change, as he would have been warned not to tell any more of what he knew about what he saw at Area 51. Even so, he promised to make a tape before he died where he would record everything. Despite the passage of time, to date no tape with the confession has appeared. If a recording of O'Donnell's deathbed confession were made public, corroborating the reports of a crashed flying saucer and a living being, it would lend credence to the claims made by Bob Lazar, who has recounted his experiences working in saucers recovered at Area 51 and an alleged reverse engineering program to try to replicate the technology. Detailed accounts by Knapp of the alleged witness intimidation continue to this day. Speaking to Liberation Times, Jeremy Corbell commented, "Credible people have reported crashed flying saucers recovered by the United States military for decades. At first glance, these claims seem implausible, almost comic. How is it possible for a ship of such advanced and exotic origin to suddenly stop working or experience a critical failure in the deserts of New Mexico, and many other places?" Jeremy Corbell told the Liberation Times. However, these accounts appear to be increasingly true and factual. With each step toward the heart of this matter, I have found verifiable evidence that this is exactly what happened. The presence of UFOs traversing our skies for generations represents one of the best-kept secrets of our time. The implications and fears caused by the aura of secrecy surrounding this mystery relate to the derivative technology exploitation programs that have emerged, as well as concerns about the development of weapons of mass destruction based on the reverse engineering of these non-terrestrial technologies. The real question is, why does the cover-up of these events persist? Why are witnesses routinely silenced through threats of retaliation or personal harm? The answer to this is quite simple. Until we know what we're up against, this is a new tech race. A silent and invisible Cold War. And the winner takes all. This technology can change the world, but the world will certainly change when consensus reality catches up with real reality, and it is widely understood that the builders of these machines are from somewhere else. Then, and only then, will we begin to see the true nature of our reality a little more clearly, Corbell concluded.